Kelly had been trapped on the mountain by a transparent wall for 10 years. She could clearly see the other side of the wall, but she could never pass through. The wall had no gaps, as if it had appeared out of thin air. One day, Kelly discovered another possible way out when she accidentally saw two old people. She shouted and walked towards them, but halfway there, she was blocked by that transparent wall again. Despite her constant shouting, the two old people showed no response. Not long after, Kelly witnessed a chilling scene. Water from the faucet flowed over the old man's hands, but he remained motionless. The old lady was the same, sitting quietly on the bench as if she were frozen. At that moment, Kelly felt a chill and retreated in fear. What exactly was this wall? Why was she the only one trapped inside? She began to wonder why she was trapped in this eerie place. Looking back 10 years ago, it was a sunny day. Kelly and her family drove up the mountain for a trip. Upon arriving at the lodge, Kelly felt tired and lay down to rest. Unexpectedly, when she woke up the next morning, her parents had disappeared. She felt very confused and took the dog out to search for them. The dog ran quickly ahead, suddenly letting out a sharp, miserable cry. Kelly hurried over and saw the dog standing still, staring straight ahead. As she continued walking forward, she suddenly froze. In front of her was a transparent wall that looked like glass. Kelly was trapped on the other side of this wall. From that day on, she checked every day to see if the wall had disappeared, but time passed, and her parents still did not return. After a month, Kelly still hadn't found any way out. One day, when Kelly was about to go out, she found that she was already unable to leave. She desperately threw herself at the transparent wall, screaming loudly, her eyes filled with despair. Fortunately, it was all just a dream. After a few months, Kelly finally made up her mind to find a way to leave this place. She drove a sports car directly towards the wall, but the car was wrecked, and she still couldn't find any exit. Gradually, Kelly gave up the idea of escaping and decided to settle here. She began to grow potatoes, and when she wanted to eat meat, she would take a gun and go hunting in the forest. One day, while Kelly was walking on the mountain, she suddenly saw the dog running wildly ahead as if it had discovered something. She chased after it and saw a man. It was the first time Kelly had seen a living person in a long time. The man was so hungry that he had almost lost his mind and treated Kelly's dog as food. Kelly hurried home to get her gun and quickly went to save the dog. When she got back, the man had already raised his axe and was about to chop at the dog. Kelly shot without hesitation, hitting the man. But in the end, the dog still died at the man's hands. Kelly hugged the dead dog and wept bitterly. Finally, she threw the man's corpse down into the valley. She wrote down this experience, everything that had happened to her, word by word, leaving it on paper.